All right, so we are less than 1 day, I guess, at this point from the spoilers, the release of the Dragon Ball Super manga Chapter 8, 82 spoiler draft pages, right? Like if not today, or rather, if not tomorrow, it'll probably be the day after, sometime this weekend. And I don't make videos on the weekend, but that does give us still one more day to theorize and make our predictions here. So, what do we know so far? What has happened so far? What can we deduce? What is our evidence, right? So far, Goku and Vegeta confronted Granola. They thought they had beat him back, but it turned out it was just a clone. And then Granola thoroughly wiped the floor with Goku and then subsequently Vegeta, who, even though Vegeta had an ultra ego upgrade, new form, it still was eventually toppled by Granola, who came into his power, mastering the double eye Cerulean powers. What happened to that, by the way? Was that in the last chapter? I don't think he used that on Gas, but well, he had the goggles on, right? So we wouldn't have seen if he was doing it, which then I guess begs the question, why did they even give him that power up? But especially because Oatmeal ain't said jack, right? Oatmeal hasn't said anything. Well, so yeah. Anyways, Granola eventually beat Vegeta, but then the heaters came up, and after Elec made the wish, Gas powered up and started, beating everyone's ass. He beat up Granola, he beat up Vegeta a little, he just hit him. They wasn't even fighting, and he beat him up. And now he's currently whooping on Goku. All right, so that's what we know so far. But there's a little bit of something that we don't know in what we know, right? The wish, what Elec wished for. That happened off screen, off panel. That we didn't get to see, we didn't get to hear the actual words, right? And this goes back to a theory I kind of teased on the last 7-star podcast with Fitzmug. Because we don't know the actual wish that Elec made, maybe Gas isn't actually the most powerful being now in the universe, right? Maybe it was more so just a placebo effect. Because hey, if you've ever played sports, if you've ever done anything, that requires, willpower and gumption, everyone knows you perform better when you're performing with confidence, okay? Confidence can make a world of difference. Believing in yourself can take you from a bench warmer to the Michael Jordan of blank, So maybe that was all just a ruse to get Gas to fight with confidence. It's yeah, sure, I made the wish. Because remember, Gas wasn't doing so good until Elec got there and talked to him personally, all right? That's our evidence here for this theory. It wasn't until he spoke with Gas, till Elec and Gas had a heart-to-heart, that Gas actually started fighting with, control and just overwhelming power. Before then, Granola was keeping up with Gas. It didn't really seem like one was, superior to the other. And another thing to remember here is that we never really saw Gas fight before the wish, okay? We saw, I think he had, one little submission move on Granola, when they were in the Great Hall earlier, back early in the arc, when Granola was talking and discovering that Frieza was still alive and whatnot, but we've never actually seen Gas actually throw hands at full power. So this may very well, again, another plot hole, or rather just another clue that's pointing towards this was always Gas's full power. He was already strong enough to contend with Super Saiyan Blue Goku and a full power, most powerful being in the universe, Granola. Which I guess is a bit of a suspension of belief. It's this whole time Gas was this, being that was superior to Frieza and Boo and all the other villains that have, come before. He was already this strong, that's a bit of, takes a bit of a leap, But it is possible. Hey, this is Dragon Ball. It is possible. And this brings us back to, again, what actually was the wish that Elec made, So I'm thinking here that Elec gave Gas a placebo effect. He told him he was the strongest in the universe, so he started fighting like he was the strongest in the universe. but the wish that Elec actually made, okay, here's what I think. The wish that Elec actually made was for him to be the strongest being in the universe. Either that or to know everything in the universe. He is a man that prides himself on intelligence. It could very well, you know, I can't get my words together. It could very well maybe, if that's even a proper sentence, that Elec is the new Zuno, you know? Like, now Elec has all the information. So it's like, even if Gas fails, Elec knows of a way to get out of this situation, right? It's not necessarily about beating them into submission, beating his foes into submission. He can just outsmart them at this point. And the more that I talk about it, then the more I actually hope that that is actually what happened. That Elec wished for superior knowledge and just, you know, quick thinking skills and all this brain power to where he defeats his opponents, you know, with wit and cunning. Unlike, you know, unlike how Goku and all of them are just trying to, you know, overwhelm you with power. And it's gonna make Elec, like, the thing is with that though, this that can't, like, they can't extend the arc anymore. That's the dangerous thing here. You don't want them to extend the arc too far. This has to spill over into what will be the next arc. All right, it'll be focused less on the heaters, more on Elec and his, you know, mastermind plan for ultimate universal domination, right? Like, so it has to somehow end with Gas being defeated by Goku, who, you know, has some kind of rage boost, or just maybe he outsmarts Gas, you know, a little foreshadowing of the next arc. It's not always about being strong, sometimes it's about being smarter, right? See, it's all coming together in the theory here. I love just talking about these, you know, not necessarily always planning out these theories, because you know, then they get to make sense as you go along, and it just comes together and it's real fun and yada yada yada. Thank you for watching the video this far. But basically, yeah, so Goku may defeat Gas just by outsmarting him. You know, maybe he comes to the realization that Gas, you know, as powerful as he is, still isn't quite the skilled fighter that Goku is, and he can outsmart him and catch him slipping and just, you know, beat him up. You know, it's not, he doesn't necessarily need a save from Broly or Beerus or Frieza, whoever might show up in the next arc, you know. Or what if it's Bardock? Let me not even go open up that can of worms, because Bardock's definitely dead. Like, I'm sure they could write in a way where it's like, oh yeah, I've been alive this whole time, but I mean, that wouldn't. Anyway, circling back, Goku doesn't need help, right? It would be cool if Goku doesn't need help. It would be cool also if we got to see a flex of power from a surprise, you know, surprise guest, Broly or Beerus. But Goku doesn't need that, you know. Maybe no one comes to help him. Goku foreshadows that smarts can overcome power, and that leads us into the next arc, where Elec is, you know, puts his real master plan into full motion. But yeah, that's just my theory here. What do you think? Please leave a comment. Let me know, what do you think? Do you think Elec actually made a wish to grant Gas the most powerful, you know, make him the most powerful fighter in the universe? Or do you think it was something else? You know, was it for ultimate knowledge, or, you know, or himself, make himself the greatest fighter in the universe? Is it always just about, you know, who can beat up who? The answers will soon be revealed in about less than 48 hours, coming up this weekend. So we'll be covering all that and more in depth next week. So yeah, thanks for watching. Like, subscribe, and I'll see you on Monday with coverage of Dragon Ball Super Manga Chapter 82. All right, take care.